Alright, what's up everybody? We are back with more of Avadon, the Black Fortress. So let's go ahead and continue on here. We are in the Black Fortress right now, and we just got new orders from Miranda, so we can take care of that real quick. What's on her desk though? Nothing we need. We can't seal it even if we wanted to. This book is about Avadon. This entry has been added to your codex, which can be read in the journal. That's a bit misleading because they could say it's just in the codex rather than the journal, because the journal is when you make notes of stuff. Avadon. The mighty fortress of Avadon is both place and symbol. It represents a pact and everything it is willing to do to survive. Everyone in Linnaeus fears Avadon. Its warriors and assassins. The attention of Avadon can be lethal. There is nothing its agents will not do to maintain the stability of the pact. The Black Age, a brutal civil war that lasted over 30 years, showed that the five nations of the pact had little in common beyond their desire for safety. They could hang together, allied and strong, but there had to be a force counteracting those who would pull it apart. Thus, the Keep of Avadon. It has one master, selected by Hanvar's council, who rules for life. Though, considering how many enemies that master makes, and how many assassins he or she attracts, that life can be shortened dramatically. Avadon stands independent from the council. It is its own law. The council and individuals can petition it for aid, but it primarily watches on its own for threats to the stability of the pact, inside and out. The leader rises in the far lands who might rise to true power. He disappears. A brigand in the Kava, who is angering Hoklanda by raiding over the border, she is stopped. Even members of Hanvar's council itself can be removed, jailed, or even killed if they attempt to do serious harm to the stability of the pact. Many fear and hate Avadon, not trusting it with the power it holds. Many grudges remain from the Black Age, but few are acted upon. A wise master of Avadon knows that humility is absolutely necessary. After all, assassins are always waiting to be sent. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Alright. First, we gotta find Smith Dumont and Craftmaster Nicodemus. Supplies, get supplies. Okay, so they're down here. This chamber is a small, crowded smithy. The air is hot and full of ash. Multiple chimneys suck the smoke out of the fortress to keep it from wafting down the halls. There is a lone smith manning the forge. He is a short, stocky man with a deeply tanned complexion. You suspect that he is from the Kava. He grimaces as you enter. Another hand come for supplies? Well, I'll do what I can, but I make no promises. I'm Smith Dumont. He reaches out to shake your hand. As he does, his glove pulls away from his hand, revealing that it has been branded with a T. Aunt Miranda sent me to see you. Of course she did. I'm the quartermaster for now, as if I didn't have enough to do. He probably wants me to give you a scarab too. I only have one left, but you can have it. You aren't normally the quartermaster? Me? One of the finest smiths in the Linnaeus? Of course not. But then the wretches killed the old quartermaster and everyone has been too distracted to replace him. So Miranda gave me the touch. You'll be trading with me for what you need. A scarab? Yes, a scarab. He removes a piece of jewelry from a pouch. It is, indeed, a small metal scarab on a thin chain. It's 6 legs and a needle point. This is Avadon magic. Powerful. Only we can give it. Its legs look sharp. Of course, you wear it under your armor. The legs dig in and the magic goes deep within your being. Don't wince. Many in the far lands would kill for the power they bring. What sort of power do they give? They can make you stronger or faster. They can give you magical powers. Scarabs will sustain you no matter how far you get from Avadon or how many foes attack you. I should know. I've made many of them. I'll take the scarab. He hands it to you reverently. There it is. When you wear it, it grabs on. Nobody can steal it. However, you can only take it off or put it on in the safety of Avadon. Anywhere else, it won't let itself be stolen. And a warning, don't wear too many. You need to be strong to withstand their power. They give, but they also take. You can currently equip one scarab. You can equip one more for each 7 levels you gain. You can only equip or remove them when on the main floor of Avadon. Can I trade with you? He nods. That is what I am forced to do until they bother to find a new quartermaster, which won't happen until things are under control again, which could take weeks. You can sell things to me that you find in the field. In return, I will sell you new quality equipment, even scarabs when I can get them. What exactly has been going on? I'll tell you exactly what they told me. And then he stands there silently. You get the point. Wait, you will buy and sell me things? I'm a hand. Why don't you just give equipment to me? Oh, how many times hands have given that little speech. To answer your question, it is Redbeard's orders. Avadon has great resources, but great responsibilities as well. We don't have near as much as we should. So, Redbeard will make you earn your keep. Earn my keep how? When you are on a mission, you may keep what treasure you find. If someone hires you to do something, as long as it does not hurt the pact or keep you from your duties, you can keep what you earn, and you can trade what you find back to me. Would you rather hand everything you find to me and then settle for what I give you back? I thought not. Let me see what you have for sale. Alright, I think I've sorted through everything enough to trade properly. I have arms and weapons, supplies, and scarabs. I want to buy arms and armor. Smith Dumont. Avadon has access to the finest weaponry and supplies. However, it doesn't just hand them out. All hands have to earn quality equipment. Okay, so he has a pretty good stock, it looks like. I want to buy supplies. Okay, so this is where you can get potions and lockpicks. Not going to buy anything quite yet, though. I want to buy scarabs. Okay, these are pretty good. Although we do want to... That one's really good. A boost to strength and endurance. I don't need anything else. Alright, since you don't need anything else, can I get back to work? I have something I want to sell. I'd like to know more about you. You would? I suppose that is friendly of you, though I am too busy for such talk. He absentmindedly scratches the back of his hand, where you saw the T brand earlier. I am from the Cava. I came here to use my skills to serve the Pact. It is a great honor that Redbeard took me in. There is little else I can say. Tell me about the Cava. It is a harsh land, but it is beautiful. But then I hear you will be spending time there. Do not let its roughness distract you. There is such beauty there. My family is there, and I am glad for them. Tell me about them. I would rather not. Suffice it to say that they are well, growing, moving on. I would like to learn more about it. I believe there is a book on the cave by the southern portal. It was left there to inform hands and knights who were assigned to travel there. Proper preparation and all that. Smith Dumont continues to work in the smithy. He divides his time between repairing blades and plate armor and organizing the goods left behind by the quartermaster. How did you get that T brand? His back stiffens. I do not discuss it. And, were I you, I would learn to be a little more polite when dealing with those in Avadon. You can't afford to make enemies. I need nothing else. Then we must return to work. The pact requires for all of us to do all we can to keep the savages of the far lands at bay. Okay, so we have a short bow we can equip on him. Do I really want a spear, or do I want a spear and a shield? I mean, not a spear and a shield, but a sword and a shield. I like the idea to be doing lots of damage, but at the same time... Yeah, I think I like a shield more, honestly. Let's go ahead and give it to Sevlin. Well, speaking of Sevlin, we can give some stuff to him. I don't want to give him the armor necessarily. Oh yeah, let's put on the Scarab. All right, value 105% to hit chance. Okay, so we'll put that on. You're heavily encumbered. You won't be able to cast spells or function well in combat until you take off the bulky armor. Oh, dagnabbit. Okay. Let's take off the shield then. Still encumbered, really? I don't know. Maybe I'll stick with the spear in the meantime. Now, honestly, I still kind of like the sword more. I don't know. I'm just debating back and forth right now. Man, I didn't realize I was encumbered. All right. Put these shields back because they have no value. I'll put on a shield when I get one that has value. I mean, this one does, but that would work better for another companion I'm gonna get here in a little bit. Man, that sucks I can't put those gloves on because I got encumbered so easily. Avadon has an enormous workshop where weapons, armor, and magical trinkets are produced and maintained by a skilled cadre of crafters. The smoke is thick and the raw power in the air makes your hair stand on end. To the south, you can see Craftmaster Nicodemus. Happily, there are no wolves with him this time. He holds a delicate ring on an anvil with a pair of tongs and taps it carefully with the large hammer. Once again, you approach Craftmaster Nicodemus. You feel a bit safer this time, as he doesn't have any mad, twisted wolves with him. He sets his hammer aside and nods to you. I see that you have settled in, and now you are here to receive supplies. Yes? That is my purpose in life. He smiles. I am here to protect the hands. How can I help you? Aunt Miranda sent me to get supplies. He nods. I have received word from her. You are very fortunate. I'm skilled in the crafting of magical goods, and Avadon puts the finest resources at my disposal. When you are given a mission, come to me. I will give you the most useful, freshly crafted magical tool I still have available. Items you still have available? He coughs slightly. Ah, as you may know, most of our hands have had to go out on missions, and many of my more pyrotechnic items have been taken. Don't worry, I'll make sure that anything I give you will do something. Are your items as reliable as your wolves? He is unfazed. Oh dear. You have a grudge about that little incident. Then I apologize, and I will continue to apologize any time something similar happens. What do you have for me now? He has an assistant fetch a long baton of polished oak for you. This is a rod of attraction. I am quite pleased with it. Watch. The assistant starts to walk away. Nicodemus waves a wand and an invisible hand seizes the young man and he yanks him back to you. See? Quite marvelous. You are dismissed. The assistant, now somewhat bruised and sprained, staggers away. Nicodemus hands you the wand. What is it good for? For bringing things that are farther away closer to you. Like, say, irritating enemy mages. I admit it lacks fire, lightning, or the more flashy magical manifestations, but it is a wand of great utility. Now, how else can I help you? I would like to know more about you. Really? How novel. There is little to tell, though. Not much to say about me beyond my work. I come from Durham, where from a young age I showed great talents, both with magic and with mundane crafts. Word of my existence reached Redbeard, who brought me here. Can you tell me more about Durham? Ah, my beautiful coastal home. I have not been there for so long. I have a book about it here somewhere, if you wish to learn more. The next time the portals are set to take hands there, I must return for a visit. Redbeard found you when you were young. How old does that make Redbeard? Redbeard became keeper in the year 6257. It is now 6312. And yet he looks so young. Remarkable, yes? The Keeper of Avadon has resources beyond even what is available to me. I am envious. And you are loyal to the cause of Avadon? The cause? Oh, fighting for the Pact. Yes, I'm afraid that I don't give those political issues much thought. Then why did you come here? He looks at you as if you are mad. Why? The resources. He waves a hand at his massive workshop. All this. All mine. For my beautiful work. My magical inventions will grant me immortality. For centuries they will speak of the incomparable genius of Craftmaster Nicodemus, while greater minds die forgotten in the mud because they never had such tools with which to express their genius. Craftmaster Nicodemus sets his work aside whenever any hand comes to him for help. He does a very good job of concealing his irritation at being kept from his labors. Tell me more about your work. He nods eagerly. Yes, my work. Tools for the hands, weapons and trickery to help them escape danger and do the work of Avadon. I receive only the best of supplies, and I also have a wide variety of loyal and talented assistants culled from all over Linnaeus. Can you make weapons for me? I do little else. Of course, steel and fire are not the only weapons. The best weapons are those that help you to fully utilize your own cunning. Or, reading between the lines, he makes whatever he wants and you try to find a way to make it help you. And your equipment always works? Of course. Well, it always does something, anyway. Perhaps the results can be a bit unpredictable, but that is a small price to pay to have magical artifacts that have never existed before. Your enemies will always be surprised. And so, you suspect, will you? Tell me about your assistants. Loyal and intelligent. Carefully screened to remove those likely to assassinate me. Always ready to help me to test new inventions. You note that all of his assistants try to spend their time in the far end of the workshop, out of his sight. And in my private workshop, I have other, more magically skilled and durable helpers. Go on. It is not something I like to boast about. However, if you enter my private workshop, please do not remove their control collars. The results would be troublesome. That is all I need. Then I will return to my work. So many hands who need my help. So many assistants who need me to help me test things. Excuse me. Okay, this one of attraction might be... Rod of attraction might be pretty good. Book about Duram. Duram is the easternmost member of the Midlands Pact. It crawls up most of the eastern coast of Linnaeus. It is a sea power. Its merchant fleets can be found in all four seas, north, south, east, and west. Duram, despite its awkward location, is a hub for goods and ideas of all the lands of Linnaeus. Duramites are a pleasant, tolerant, philosophical people, loving long conversations, leisurely meals, and an absence of warfare. They were the first to fully subscribe to the idea of forming the Midlands Pact, especially since it gave them, at last, protection from the constant flow of vicious raiders from Svorgald. The people of Duram have a very unusual way of selecting leaders, one that makes the other lands of Linnaeus see them as quite eccentric. All of Duram is split up into bands, groups of people between 500 and 10,000 strong, divided up by village, or 1,000 strong, divided up by a village or neighborhood. Every 5 years, the bands gather for speaking where they choose a speaker. The speaker is one who has the support of the largest number of members of the band. Then the speakers gather in groups, and each of these groups chooses a single member to represent it. This process continues upwards until a council of about 10 or 15 honored Duramites is assembled to lead the nation for the rest of the 5-year period. Thus, in a very real sense, even the poorest and lowliest has a voice in selecting the highest powers in Duram. It is a very strange practice. Fortunately, it shows few signs of infecting the other states of Linnaeus. Okay, so we can't sell bars of iron like we could in Vernum for money. Okay, can't open that box. Craftmaster Nicodemus has several young assistants. They do simple crafts, helping him to test his inventions and try to avoid being accidentally incinerated. You notice that his helpers spend most of their time in this half of the workshop. When the craftmaster needs to test something, he tends to grab the first person he sees, as you know all too well. Ain't that the truth? You enter Craftmaster Nicodemus's private forge, where much of his most creative, if not necessarily useful, work takes place. Avadon is built over a natural steam vent, and much of that heat is directed into this chamber. Two of Nicodemus's assistants are moving things around to the north. Not humans, but humanoid. Tall, scaly, with horns and fangs. Somehow Nicodemus has bound two infernals to his service. Fortunately, collars around their necks hold them in bondage. Okay, what are these? Okay, we can't grab those weapons. You get close enough to the infernal to take a nice long look. It is very rare to get so close to these huge, unpredictable creatures. Fortunately, the collar it wears shocks it painfully whenever it tries to lunge at you. Eventually, you leave them to return to work. If the magic of their collars ever fails, this chamber will become very dangerous. Alright, consider me taught there. You can't use this forge until you find a rune stone. When you have one, you can use it to improve your weapons and armor. Okay. Oh, he didn't tell us about this, so. Although obviously it probably won't come into play later anyway. Let's head back to Miranda. I have received my supplies. Then you are ready for your first journey into the outside world as a representative of Avadon. Sooner than I might have wanted to send you, perhaps, but you will only be dealing with wretches, so it should be fine. Where do I need to go? Miranda pulls a wrinkled sheet of papyrus from deep in one of the stacks on her desk and inspects it. Ah yes, the dragon Zethron. How interesting. Meeting a dragon on your first trip out. The dragon is troubled by wretches. We want to keep the creature happy. He hasn't received personal attention from Avadon in some time, so we are sending you. Go clear out his pests, then return to me. And I am happy to say 2 more hands have returned from the field. They are available to help you. Be sure to speak with them before you depart. I can spare 2 of the 4 available to help you with this task. I doubt that you will need more. I'm helping a dragon. Dragons are some of the most valuable allies for the Pact. Of course, not all dragons are allied with us, but those creatures are wise enough to hide far away. Beasts such as Zethron provide knowledge and military aid. In return, we must, at times, help to ease their egos by sending hands to do their bidding. How can I reach the dragon? She points toward the southern tower. The portal there has been charged to take you to the town of Goldcrag in the Cava. Once there, it will not be difficult to find your way to Zethron's Eyrie. Many travel there to buy various sorts of assistance from the greedy old reptile. Tell me about the other 2 hands. She consults another paper on her desk. One is Shima Threespear, a young shadow walker of some skill. Quite promising, I think. He's often found in the dining hall. The other is Janelle. She is a shaman, recently arrived from the Wild Realm and eager to prove herself. She spends much of her time in the garden in the northwest corner of the fortress. Who should I take with me? That will be your decision. See which one you mesh best with, and which one has skills to complement your own. Why are these hands still here instead of out in the field? Ah, they are young, perhaps less tested than others, and thus less likely to be selected. But I assure you that you will be able to work well with them. First, go to the northwest corner of Avadon and meet Shima and Janelle. 2 more hands who can help you on your missions. Then go to the portal in the southern edge of Avadon. Travel through it and find your way to the dragon Zethron. Speak with the creature and do whatever is required to pacify it. Okay, so let's go ahead and meet 2 more hands. We still also have some exploring to do before we actually start the mission. This is the main dining hall of Avadon. It's a whirlwind of activity every hour of the day, as hands, envoys, supplicants, and diplomats grab hasty meals before returning to their business. Most people here ignore you. One man stares at you openly. He is a shadow walker sitting by himself at a long table. He sips some wine and nods at you. Okay, so can't get through that gate right now. Okay, vases aren't worth anything, so we're not gonna pick them up. There is a man in black garb, a mask, and leather armor sitting at this table. His appearance is rather incongruous in this crowded, busy dining hall. He sits alone and he constantly scratches at his mask as if it is bothering him. Then he sees you. He jumps to his feet and bows deeply. Hart Miranda told me of you. You are Xander, yes? I am Shima Threespear, proud shadow walker of Hoklanda. I place my blade and razor disc at your service, should you have need of me. Is your mask bothering you? His face is covered so you can't see his expression. He shrugs slightly. It itches from time to time, especially when I am inside and it is warm. But the mask is the mark of my caste, so I wear it proudly in Avadon. You are from Hoklanda. That is true. He suspects that you are about to ask more about it, but I would discuss it at another time. I have just returned from the field, and I am eager to return. You are a shadow walker? I am. Normally, I would not wear this garb where others could see me. In Avadon, however, among my allies, I let you see it so that you know my purpose. So it is unusual to be dressed like this. Of course, we say that when one not of our clan sees a mask, it is the last thing they see. But I am a warrior of Avadon now, so all of Avadon are my clanmates. Why are you sitting here? I must eat, and whenever I can, talk to those who travel through. We shadow walkers learn all we can of every land, so that we can be prepared when we are sent there. I can choose you to come with me on my next mission in the Cava. Then I would be honored to serve Redbeard by your side. My armor is light, but my arm is fast. I can duck in, strike a lethal blow, and disappear in the shadows, all in a single moment. We are assassins, warriors of the darkness. If we find ourselves fighting toe-to-toe, we have somehow failed. We bring rapid death, and then we disappear. I do all I do for the honor of the Three-Spear clan. I will wait to see if you have use of me. I will consider bringing you. He nods. I would welcome it. I do not wish to spend more time on guard duty or menial work, and I feel that I have much to prove. Before you can ask him to elaborate, he sits back down at the table. I will wait here for your command. Excuse me while I prepare. He returns to his meal. Okay, so now we have Shima. Okay, so let's level that up for now and level Steel Discipline. Probably should take the time to read all this stuff to you, but it is something you can also do at your own leisure, too. This is the second garden, larger and more beautiful than the first. Planters ring the hall full of rare and fragile plants from all over Linnaeus. Visitors to Avadon frequently come here to breathe fresh air and try to relax. It is not easy to stay calm under the constant gaze of Keeper Redbeard. There is a young woman walking among the trees. She is barefoot and wears a loose leather tunic and dress. You suspect that she is from the Wild Realm. When she sees you, she nods solemnly. There is a woman wandering the Avadon Gardens. She wears a long, loose leather dress and several beads and symbols hang from around her neck. She is older than you. You guess that she has served in Avadon for at least a few years. As you approach her, you feel as if you are being watched. Something slinks through the trees, watching you. When you turn to see what it is, it fades back into the shadows. She smiles. Greetings. Hart Miranda described you to me. You are Xander, the newest hand in Avadon. I am Janelle, shaman of the Wild Realm. I will be working at your side if you choose. Is there something stalking me? She nods and laughs. Despite the recent troubles, she is in high spirits. The beasts of the woods tend to keep an eye on me, as do the beasts of this garden. Do not worry. As long as you don't move too suddenly, you will be fine. She might be joking. You are from the Wild Realm? This is true. I am one of the southern tribes. Though I have not been home for some years, I am polite enough to not describe my land unless asked. And if I ask, then I would be happy to tell later. For now, I've heard that there is work to do. I can choose to bring you with me on missions. So, Hart Miranda has explained to me, this was not unwelcome news. You seem competent enough, and I am eager for any excuse to escape this tomb of stone. This tomb of stone? I serve Avadon, but I am not fully at my ease within its walls. I prefer to be out in the open air. If you do not like Avadon, why did you come? It is a long tale, and not one I tell to those I have just met. How can you aid me? I am a shaman, one who has chosen great skill in my chosen path. I can call creatures to aid us in battle. I can summon venom and claw spirits to strike down our foes from afar. And I am no stranger to the healing arts. I can revive you when you have become wounded. There is much I can do for you, and all I ask is for you to take me out of the stone fortress. You are a skilled worker of magic, like Nathalie? In skill, I have much in common with Nathalie. I do, however, lack much of her arrogance and limitless ambition. And, unlike her, there are some in Avadon who claim to like me. I may bring you with me. She looks pleased. I hope you continue to consider it. My service to Avadon has been above reproach. Now I must go. My companion has run off, and I fear that he will be causing mischief. She walks off into the trees. Interesting. It's too bad we can't just bring all four of them with us, but I can understand why. That's not a possibility. Okay, did I really level up twice? Let me see. Okay, no. I just, for some reason, Janelle's at level 3. Oh, that's weird, though. Okay, whatever. Let's just do this. Do that and that. I wonder why Janelle leveled up twice, is my question. Okay, we are going to talk to some more people here, but I am going to explore. Avadon has many guards, all of them outfitted in fine armor and the highest quality weapons. They are warriors in the service of the Black Fortress, but they are not sent out into the field. They all regard you with a mix of contempt for your inexperience and envy at your potential. And of course, should you turn out to be an assassin sent to kill Redbeard, they are ready to kill you. Okay. Do some quick exploring. Okay, so there are certain areas I can't access yet. I can't talk to this person. A middle-aged woman crosses the courtyard back and forth, shouting orders to the soldiers and workers. As hands enter and leave, she grabs them and gives them extra jobs to do. She wears a well-worn bow over her shoulder, and the insignia on her shoulder shows her to have considerable authority. She looks you over. A new hand. Always good to see, especially in times like these. I am Hand Callan. Hart Miranda will want most of your time, I think. But when she doesn't have her claws on you, you answer to me. Can I talk to you? She looks over at you. I suppose so. I think you have time to settle in. He shakes her hand. Xander, is it? Good to meet you. I am the head hand here. Redbeard says so. When you aren't following the orders of him or the hearts, you will answer to me. Though the way things are looking, you will be busy for some time. I know everything about the hands, including the ones I have been assigned to help you. What do you want to know? Where are you from? I was raised in the wide fields of the Wild Realm, to the west. Wild freelance. I was part of a proud tribe that has long fought the corruption for the good of the pact. But that was not enough for me. I was the finest archer in our tribe. I decided to put my skills to use here. What is the corruption? A blasted land of crags, peaks, and monstrosity. A lesson to all why it is important for Avadon to bring mad wizards to heal as quickly as possible. Fortunately, it's not much of a bother. The occasional horror slithers out, and we fill it with arrows. Nothing we cannot defeat. Why did you leave your homeland? She shrugs. I miss the fields and woods, I suppose, but the simple truth is this. Unlike most of my people, I have developed a taste for cities. Love them, in fact. What are your duties here? I look after the hands. When Redbeard needs some of them for one of his jobs, he talks to me directly. When he suspects disloyalty, he asks me to find it. I spend a lot of time dealing with him directly, more than most, enough to earn a nickname. What is your nickname? They say that I am one of his 3 wives, along with Hart Miranda and Lyra. They hate the name. It just makes me laugh. You look for disloyalty? Her smile fades. Any hand can turn out to be an assassin. Any hand can grow weak and sell out the pact for a big enough bribe. And when they do, Redbeard counts on me to uncover the crime. And I do. If you ever suspect treachery, I am the one you must tell. Tell me more about Redbeard. Everyone fears him. It is terribly unjust, since none do more or fight more fiercely to help the people of the pack sleep securely in our beds. I have nothing to fear from him. You know why? Because I am loyal, and I fight for right. Follow my example, and you need not fear either. Anne Callan continues to tirelessly roam the halls of Avadon, looking for anyone who seems the least bit idle and putting them to work. She occasionally looks at you wistfully. There's much I could have you do, but Miranda has reserved you. What do you need of me? I want to talk about what has been happening lately. She looks unsettled. Understandable. It is a difficult time, with one disaster following another. It does happen. There was an accident in one of the towers. A pulse of magic disrupted much of Avadon. At the same time, there was an unusual amount of trouble in the far lands. Most of our hands had to be sent away. Tell me about the accident? One of the towers was used to imprison creatures of interest, usually the results of magical experimentation, or monsters that wandered out of the corruption. They were held in place with runes of power. Tell me about this tower. The stairs up to it are near your quarters in Miranda's office. She knows the amulet around your neck. You do not yet have authority to enter it. What happened? Nobody knows for sure. There was a pulse power. The runes burned themselves out. The keepers died. The wave of energy disrupted spells all over Avadon. Beasts escaped. The dungeons were disrupted. What caused the problem? It is a mystery. She looks quite unsettled. It is worrying. Can we discuss my companions? She nods. Of course, you often will not be able to choose who you work with. However, I am here to make it easier to fight alongside these unexpected allies. I would like to know anything unusual that happens in your dealings with them. After all, they may not necessarily be those I will choose to work with you. Why wouldn't you choose them? Why wouldn't you choose them? She seems nervous. Some hands don't settle into life at Avadon as well as others. Some of them may have qualities or opinions that give them a difficult time here. What does that have to do with the hands available to me? The trials we have faced may have left behind a greater concentration of... She shakes her head. Actually, never mind. They have the full backing of Avadon. They will serve the cause of the pact well. She obviously has nothing else to say on this topic. You want me to report on my fellow warriors? Of course I do. You think I'm ashamed to say it? The pact is ever threatened. Assassins and traitors are everywhere. These are facts. If you have reason to suspect one of your allies threatens Avadon, it is your duty to say so. I have nothing to say about them. She nods. Understandable, but I hope when you learn more, you will confide in me. Is there anything I can do for you? I am always happy when enterprising hands offer themselves for extra work. I know Miranda keeps you busy, but there is a small task that I would like done. It will take very little time. We have an envoy from the Tawan Empire. Name is Versula. He has been here for some time, more than usual. Since the Tawan Empire is an old foe of the pack, this requires attention. I would like for you to search her quarters and see if you can find any evidence of spying or other such stuff. or other such behavior. Excuse me. Where are her quarters? She is staying in the lower guest quarters under the main dining hall. Will she mind if I search her quarters? She is of the far lands, not the pact. She has no choice but to accept it. Remember our principles, the stone wall beyond. However, it might be wise to do the search when she is not actually present. That is all I need to know. Back to the hunt, then. This is a dark time, but with courage, we will defeat the enemies of the pact. Hand Callan of Avadon asks a small favor of you. Go downstairs and search the quarters of Bursula, an envoy from the Tawan Empire. She is looking for evidence that Bursula is a spy. Okay, sounds good. Okay, this section is already what I explored here. Oh yeah, we can also equip Shima while we're at it. Let's go ahead and give him the shield too, since he needs the dexterity boost. Okay, so Shadow Walker required for Razor Disc. We'll put that on Shima. Yeah, I could probably hang on to these, but I can just sell them and just have a little extra money on me for the time being. Did I already give him an iron? Yeah, I did. Okay. Now let's just go ahead and sell the Iron Gauntlets for now so we have some extra money for the time being. Oh, we can just go through here. What am I doing? Okay, we don't want to go there yet. What am I doing? It's right over here. Okay, so we have a little extra money. Put these daggers in there. We still have a few more people to talk to before we move on to our mission. Okay, who's this guy? There is a steward wandering among the office and quarters of the Hands and Hearts. He is an aging man, crisply dressed, the very picture of dignity. He gives you a little bow. I welcome you, Hand of Avadon. I am Polis. I will serve you when you desire. Tend to your needs. Deliver messages. Whatever it takes to ease your mind. Where are you from? I am from the Tawan Empire. I have been honored with this posting, and I have been here for 20 years. The Tawan Empire? Isn't that one of the Farlands? The Tawan Empire is an enemy of the Pact, but I do not concern myself with politics. I exist to provide quality service. Do you know anything about the troubles Avadon has been facing? His mouth develops a slight tick. I know nothing of that. I do not pay attention to politics. I only serve. Paulus stands up unobtrusively off to the side. He seems calm and non-threatening, and yet he is ready to spring into action the moment you need something. What do you do here? I take care of the distracting needs of the hands, eyes, and hearts, so that they can focus on their work. How can you help me? I can provide food, clean linens, light, whatever your day-to-day needs require. I am hungry. Paul leaves for a minute. He soon returns with a mug of ale and some fresh bread. Will you need anything else? I need some linens. Paula sleeps for a minute. He soon returns with an immaculately clean blanket, pillow, and towel. Will you need anything else? I need light for my chambers. Paula sleeps for a minute. He soon returns with the candle. Will you need anything else? I don't need anything else. Alright, I will be here if you need me. Well, he actually gave us stuff. Bread, we can do that. He actually gave us a blanket, pillow, and a towel. This book is about the Far Lands. The entry has been added to your codex, which can be read in your journal. The Far Lands are the small states and regions on the outer peninsulas and islands of Linnaeus. They are the old foes of, and now dominated by, the Midlands Pact. They are spread out around the edges of the known world and not generally allied in any way. The main thing they have in common is many merry years raiding, invading, and just generally harassing the nations of the Pact. Some of these states are actual, recognizable political entities, like the loose aggregation of tribes that form Svorgald, or the pitiful shreds of the Taiwan Empire. Other Farlands are true barbarian territories, like the Titan Peaks or the Wretch Lands, harsh, wild territory occupied by monsters and savages that are not worth the effort to tame them. And then there is a corruption that is simply too bizarre for description. One of the primary reasons for the Pact to exist at all is to provide a united front against the Farlands, and to control them as much as possible, using diplomacy and harsher methods. The Pact rules Linnaeus based on two principles: open arms within and the stone wall beyond. Sevelin is sitting in his quarters working on maintaining his weapons. There are a variety of blades on the desk in front of him. He takes great care to polish and sharpen and polish each one. He looks up at you. What do you wish of me, Xander? I'd like to know more about where you are from. He nods. I am a warrior of the Kava, upholder of the Stone Code. Code. He smiles wryly. I learned early on that others do not appreciate me holding forth on the virtues of my land. I only do so when asked. Others don't admire your land? There are 5 lands in the Pact, each with their own traditions and practices. While interest in survival holds us together, there is a lack of respect for each other's ways. After all, it was less than a century ago that we were all embroiled in a vicious civil war, and there are still many grudges. Why did you come to Avadon? Because I believe in the justice of the Stone Code. And I believe in the wisdom of the Pact. I keep wanting to say that Stone Cold. I came here to be a living example, to show to all that the Stone Code has much to teach us. And have you had success? First, I learned that people from other lands have no interest in fairly evaluating our ways. He self-consciously touches a scar on his cheek. Then a mission went horribly wrong, and I lost any value as a good example. Tell me more about the Stone Code. It is a set of laws, harsh and fair, and unlike in other states, they apply to all, from the peasants to the lords and the monarch. All must obey them or be exposed as a sham to all. It is not like Avadon, where one man is the law and all fear him. Not, I hasten to add, that I would ever criticize Avadon. Can you give me an example of one of your laws? Of course. Consider theft. If a thief steals more than 10 coins worth of goods, the miscreant is brought before a judge to hear the facts of the case. If the judge finds guilt, other factors such as starvation or desperation are considered. Then 3 penalties can be given. Removal of the hand, branding of a T on the criminal's wrist, or banishment can be applied. Branding is most common. It is far from rare to see people, even nobles and the young, with that telltale mark. Is that not harsh? It is harsh. Life is harsh in the Kava. Stealing a bag of meal worth 10 coins can doom a family to starvation. The weight of the punishment matches a crime. And how do regular folk know the laws? They are carved on stones in the middle of each village. Thus, the Stone Code. All are able to approach and see what they may and may not do. Another point is favored, one that I have described to any who would listen. Sevlin is sitting in his corners working on maintaining that's a nice collection of blades. He nods. My master in the Cava told me that a true craftsman is never satisfied by less than the finest tools. If my blades were dirty or not properly sharp, he would show his displeasure. Can you tell me more about your scar? Hans Sevlin frowns. Yes, if you are to trust me with your life, you should know of me. This is nothing that should be kept secret. I showed some promise when I arrived, so I was soon sent with a band of other hands back to my beloved Cava. We were to hunt a pack of bandits. Why was Avadon interested in mere bandits? Because they were hiding in the Cava and raiding over the border in Kalimdariel. This sort of thing raises tension between the pack states and thus involves Avadon. What happened? There was actually little to tell. We followed their trail. We camped, they attacked in the night, but the hand on watch was not properly attentive. I returned to Avadon. I was not disgraced, but a cloud hung over me. None wished to take me on their missions. You are my last chance, I think. And what happened to the bandits? Nothing yet. Redbeard has sent others to hunt them, I think. I am not told the details. I can't imagine such an outrage against warriors of Avadon going unanswered. You can see on his face that he has some doubts. Okay, so now we learn a bit more about Sevlin's background. Okay, this is our chambers right here. These quarters have been set aside for you. By the standards of Avadon, they are fairly plain. Compared to what you are used to, however, they are amazingly opulent. So we have some stuff we can sell in the store. We can put towels. We'll put this stuff in here. This book is about the eyes, hands, and hearts. This entry has been added to your codex, which can be read in the journal. The power of Avadon looms over all of Linnaeus. Its word is law. Its attention brings judgment, and of course, such force needs control and organization to be properly deployed. For that reason, the warriors and agents of Avadon are divided into 4 factions. The Eyes are spies. They wander silently through the lands of Linnaeus, looking for signs of chaos. When the Eyes discover someone who would disrupt the peace of the pact, they call the wrath of Avadon. The identity of the Master Spies is a guarded secret. Only Redbeard knows the names of the most effective Eyes. The Hands are the largest faction. They are the warriors, shadow walkers, and mages. They are the ones who openly investigate signs of chaos and who inflict the judgment at Avadon. Unlike the Eyes, the identities of the most effective Hands are known far and wide. The Hearts are the researchers and advisors. They are the sages who monitor the libraries of Avadon. Answer the Master's questions, good lord, and provide advice. I was reading ahead. Only the Hearts can say their minds to Redbeard without fear. In fact, that is their most important purpose. And finally, there is the Master. Redbeard, the one who decides who is spared and who is destroyed. Okay, so I do love that we have quite a bit of background. But we have gone long enough in this part of the Let's Play, so I'm going to call it for this part, but I will see you all soon in the next.